Well, hello. Welcome to something different. Um, I'm so bad at draft analysis, so let's just kind of yap for a few and talk about some Pokemon that we drafted. Um, so what did we draft? That's a good question. What is League? This is EDC, which let's see what the effect of it. It was everybody draft community. So we are playing an EDC this season in the Ignite division, which is Wi-Fi, obviously, with a super weird draft board. Like the 20 points were like Hammer, I want to say Tinglu, Zapdos, and like Lando Eye. So very weird draft board, but it was also in air quotes high tier Terra. So like high tier for the low tier, mid tier. So you had stuff like Sinistcha and Arcanine, some of the big Terra scary guys. We didn't get any of those things, but don't worry, we got 8th pick. We got 8th out of 16th, which really meant getting any good picks are going to be disastrously hard. And that's just kind of all luck with this draft. It was not great. We also want Wheel this time, unfortunately, if we're not going to get an early pick to get something like Samurott or Tinglu in such a polarizing draft. I would have liked to have gotten a combo, which we did ultimately get, but more because we got lucky than no one else taking it after kind of obviously going for this type of playstyle. But without further ado, our first round pick at pick 8 was Glow King. I'm actually gonna pull up the doc real quick. This is for me. Because I think it's updated with everything, so I don't want to stream it. Yeah, Glow King was in the second highest tier at 18. Yeah, it was Lando, Ice, Samurott, Rocky Wake, and Zapdos at 19. Tinglu was actually lower at 17. I just assumed he was that high up. We went for Glow King. Glow King, one of my favorite Pokemon. He's also just very versatile, and I lied, this doc is not updated yet. It's just a very versatile Mon, and a great starting point. And at pick 8, I wanted to make sure I had a good defensive Mon I could depend on. And we went for Glow King. And yes, Tinglu was actually taken before this, if you're curious. Yeah, that's probably why I assumed he was so high up. He was actually pick 6 before Lando Eye, which I would have also have picked Tinglu before Lando Eye. But I'm also a Lando Eye hater, so take that with a grain of salt. This is like the 4th time I think I've uploaded something using a Slowking. I have a Slowpoke hat. I like Slowking a lot, and Slowbro too, but he lost all of his sauce. And Glow King is just better than Slowking. There isn't much I can say about Glow King that hasn't already been said. But yeah, we ended up getting Glow King. And then 16 picks went by, and that's rough. It's a rough time to be here on pick 8. We ended up getting Big Boom. Rillaboom Slowking, something very nice. Something I wasn't super expecting to make it back to me. How much was Rillaboom? Rillaboom was 14. Which was the 5th highest tier point. But yeah, we went for Boom. Boom's really good. Something that I'm going to also present this is this draft board had very little speed, so anything with priority or good speed tier is extra valuable. So Rillaboom giving that chip heal, that priority, and that good synergy with Glow King, it was a no-brainer. There's a Mon I've been wanting to use with Glow King and Rillaboom for a while, and with the power level and, like I said, priority being so important, I did round 3 Gambit. Gambit's a weird Mon that either goes round 3 or doesn't get drafted at all, and I grabbed it a bit early, which cost me in some aspects, but I'm pretty happy with the team overall, so it's fine. I really did want Zoro Kasui, and I would have had to have grabbed it over Gambit. But most reason why I wanted Zoro Kasui is because I liked it with Gambit, so gives and takes. So as of now, we're just playing Gen 9, not Gen 8, Gen 9 OU with these three. No Tail Gambit's a little predictable, but I have the grassy terrain for EQs, and I can just run Chobble. So it's basically there. Also, Defiant is really good. I think those people who only run Supreme Overload Gambit keep it in the back are discounting Gambit, as it's a very good early game switch in, and it still has good stats. It's very defensive, and it also makes it so people don't want to run webs into me, which is good because, like I said before, speed is so important in this draft because there's not a lot of it. So being able to circumvent that with webs is pretty good. But we have slow pivot, we have priority, and we have priority and web. Not removal, but I need to write scripts more. Deterrence, web deterrence, and Gambit. So it comes to round 4, and we have no removal. Our fastest mon is base 85. Tail caps are getting eaten up. I go Lucha. Hall Lucha, which is faster than I thought it was. I thought it was only 108. It's 118. It's can defog in front of Golden Go if you use a heal. Has Unburden. Even Limble's not bad for how fast he is. It is my Terra cap. This is Open Terra, which grassy terrain hyper offense is not something I'm well known for, but it's kind of what the draft started off as. I think Halicha is good. I think if I just run grassy terrain, Swords Dance Unbutton every week, it's going to get predictable and I'm going to lose. So expect, hopefully, some fun Halucha sets. But this was also my first removal. It's round 5. I don't have a fairy. And I could have gone for Old Reliable Sylveon, but I saw a silly little Terra cap available, and that was Diancie. This gives me rocks, spikes, because currently only Gambit was only rocks on. Really good defenses, a great Terra cap if I want to play a little bit slower or setup-y than Hawlucha. As Hawlucha kind of wants to go for game, Diancie can play the slow burn game. Or could even just Combine Body Press, those type of sets. And yeah, TRD is something I've wanted for a bit, so this was an excuse. Also, if it does keep the rock typing, grassy terrain can nullify that earthquake weakness. So, Tail Fire Diancie, just saying. I feel like I've said speed is so important so many times. Hawlucha isn't the greatest removal. So I went with Talonflame. It's the second flying type, which I was a little ground weak with Diancie, Rillaboom, and not Rillaboom, that's the opposite of ground weak, King Gambit, and Slowking. Because Hawlucha is Terra and is the most sturdy mon. Does have Roost though. It's Talonflame, but Talonflame's weird in Gen 9 where it joined the side of stall on the side of stall, and I've been loving using it in Gen 9. I even used it on Gen 9 Lateral for a bit. It has a lot of use. So yeah, I like Talon a lot. This was a fast mon as well. Willow, I know a lot of these mons think it's blank, not much to say, but I have the first 6 mons in my draft, even the rest of them, I have a very safe draft. I don't have some surprise shit mon to like save the day or anything. It's pretty traditionally just standard. But as someone who doesn't really play grassy terrain offense, I'm okay with that. But I have enough bulk to not be dedicated to that. Sorry, I'm getting texted. To that grassy terrain offense. I have Gambit that can take advantage of it, but he can do his own thing. Slowking has Future Sight and T-Spikes and everything, so we can still play a slower game. Talonflame, like I said, is join the side of Stall. And Dia has Spikes, Stealth Rock, can go for the Diamond Storm IDP set. There's a lot I could do here that isn't just Hollow Ucha click button, turn off Brain, turn on like cringy 90s emo rock and go in. But I have that available to me, and that's good. It doesn't make me passive. Speaking of passive, the latter half of my draft, we have Rotom Heat, my favorite Rotom form. I have not drafted it since it let me down in UPA Season 2. That is the last time I've used a Rotom form. So, don't miss your Willow's Rotom while you're going back on the bench. You had a 9-month break, and I've done a lot of drafts since then. And, yeah. I forget why. I want another ground immunity. I didn't have an electric type. And I wanted a flying resist. I think I wanted a flying resist that wasn't weak to ground. And that was Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat. We've been through a lot together. I've actually Rotom Heat on my shelf, a little plushie. I like the guy. Just don't miss your Willows. I wish it had Defog in this gen. That would make it so much better. And I know there's a bit of overlap with Talon, with a Fire type not weak to ground, that can spread a Willow and can pivot. But now I have 2. And Talon's a better Fizz Wall, and Rotom could do both. I can also now run Scarf for one offensive. Scarf Talon might be cooked. Also helps me with my Fairy weakness, as Gambit doesn't resist, as Hawlucha's weak, and coming up in my draft as well, I have some other Fairy weak friends. So having 2 Fire types and a really sturdy Poison when my Steel doesn't resist it, I think wasn't the worst idea. Also gives me another Ice resist, as Talonflame doesn't resist, and Rillaboom is weak, and I know I was kind of glazing Gambit's defensive profile earlier. Excuse me. Not the best Ice Switch in, especially something like Kyurem that has off power. I mean, Rotom will just get Draco'd, but that's beside the point. We resist the other 2 moves. And what if I'm Sculpted or AV? What about then, Kyurem? From AV, I'm not doing anything to you. But from Sculpt, and I live, you're full. It's Thunderwaved. And then I can, like, Iron Head you with Gambit. And then we're literally just playing, like, Gen 4 OU. You know, what if the Appliances never got the secondary typing? What if that was a Fire Ghost type? Then I actually have a Ghost type in this draft. Not a Fire Ghost type, Electric Ghost type. Fire Ghost is Chandelure. I don't have one of those. But I do like Chandelure, though. I should draft it at some point. Seems good with Terra. Yeah, seems good with Terra. So then, I had a lot of dollars. A speed gap between 108 and 86. Not the best. So I did something delusional. I went for the round 7 Zarude. Zarude is the last good piece of speed on the board. It gave me another ground resist. It gave me a better knocker, no jab on Rillaboom, but that stab knockoff just hits that little bit harder. Another U-turner, a close combatter, another Fizz setup mon, since my only real setup mons right now are the Freya Hawlucha and Dancy, which mostly does it special, but it does do the bulk up. This is a Swords Dancer, or a bulk upper that's using physical moves. And I know there's a lot of overlap between Rillaboom, Zarude, and even a little bit of Gambit. The double monkey core works, and I'm going to prove it to you all. This lets Rillaboom be more defensive, and Zarude be a Scalper or vice versa. Not vice versa, but you know what I mean. I also didn't have a great Scalper, and I think Zarude is a really good one. So yeah, double Monkey Core, double Grass types. We'll see if they were right calling me delusional yet, but I believe in them. I got a lot of type overlap. 2 picks left. I need some defensive typings. No ground and no water was some big things. I could have gotten a better ground type if I didn't get Zarude, so we'll see if that costs me later, but I ended up with Flygon, which didn't give, this gave me a dragon type I was missing for my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Gave me another Levitate Mon to help with our ground weakness that I've all but mitigated at this point with 4 immunities and grassy terrain. Another Stealth Rocker, another decent Scalper, a Dragon Dance Mon if I'm crazy. It even gets First Impression. If they buffed Flygon's stats and gave it back Roost, it's finally getting into a state where it's a pretty decent Pokemon. It only took like... That's gonna make me sad. Ruby and Sapphire. It's only took it 23 years to become something. I mean, I know it was pretty good in like Gen 4 OU and it was pretty good in Gen 3, but you know what I mean. I had all the tools I wanted. Then the Lost Raised. Flygon, which finally filled out our speed gap a little bit more. And that leaves my last Pokemon. I drafted Suicune. I drafted the stall, bulky water. Recovery? No. We got Pressure with Scald, Leftovers Protect. A decent speed tier, another Calm Mind option. It's Suicune. I want to run Crocoon at some point, so all of my fellow opponents, be wary for the Crocoon set. I don't know why I decided to just go full ADV OU with the last 2 picks, but we did. Calm Mind Suicune has no weakness. Don't run Woodhammer for my grassy terrain. Thank you. Give it Acid Armor. Be real. The Legendary Beasts have been mons I played the Ranger games as a kid, so I've had an affinity to them because of that. But they're not my favorite mons, and they're not amazing. I've used Entei before in like a mid-tier draft, and it was kind of disappointing, which is wild. I did good in that draft, so maybe I shouldn't be dogging Entei. So Suicune, it's here. I'm sorry, Raiko. You may have been my favorite as a kid, but you might be clinically terrible. And that was the Las Vegas Leaves this time. The little 7-10 Goopers. 7-month draft is crazy. 10 Goopers we have. I'm excited for this team. I like that it has a really bulky core and a really fast offensive core. And with the draft board, I'm pretty happy with it. My only real major snipes was like Zoroark, and I was eyeing Iron Boulder for a bit, just for the same reasons as why I would have preferred that over Zarude in a perfect world. So whoever has Iron Boulder should drop it, so I can have it. Just for the speed tier. But yeah, that was it. This isn't the most high quality draft analysis, but it's pretty unapologetically me, and I feel like that's kind of my not brand when it comes to these, but it is for the draft analysis. We're just hanging out. I'm gonna yap for 20-30 minutes, and yeah. I want to see Crocoon. I want to get a Gambit reverse sweep, and then I want to see Halucha do the thing. Those are my 3 goals for the season. And hopefully make playoffs. I've been on kind of a rut recently, so hopefully this team can help with that. And we do well, because that would make me happy. But before we get all like mushy, oh my god, are you really gonna do this whole thing on your DA? No, I won't. Until next time, my friends, we will see you all for week 1. Ciao.